A massive story breaking out of Detroit in an update to the Michigan cheating scandal. The Detroit Free Press just shocked the world as it turns out now that the FBI has joined University of Michigan police investigating Matt Weiss, the former offensive coordinator for the football team, in computer crimes that stretch across multiple state lines. How? This is amazing. According to Tony Garcia at the Detroit Free Press, the FBI has been investigating Michigan football and a former offensive coordinator, Matt Weiss, for months. And this, according today to the University of Michigan, is completely unrelated to the sign-stealing Michigan football cheating scandal. And I don't mean to simplify this or make it trivial at all. How is Jim Harbaugh still employed? Because you have a recruiting incident, scandal, investigation that you took a self-imposed 3-game rip for this year. You have this sign-stealing cheating scandal, and now your former offensive coordinator is being investigated by the FBI for computer crimes. And the investigation is, quote, extensive, ongoing, and is of the utmost priority, which is unbelievable to me for a guy that you just fired in January. Less than a year ago, he was your offensive coordinator. And I'm asking myself, how does this go on? Like, are you surprised by this?
No, I mean, I am surprised that they have not done anything about Jim yet. It is sort of interesting timing that this is coming out. It does feel like, the FBI is never out of the loop. If something's going down that they've been investigating, obviously they're going to be right in the middle of that thing. And I think that Michigan, Michigan's hand is going to be forced here, I believe. Before this FBI piece came out, you could kind of think, all right, maybe Michigan's going to be stubborn here and they're not going to do anything about this somehow, right? It's really unexplainable to me how you haven't suspended Jim Harbaugh indefinitely pending the outcome of the investigation, but whatever. But now that the FBI has been investigating your offensive coordinator for computer crimes, and that's a separate piece altogether to the sign stealing situation, I don't know how anybody can deny that this is now, number one, a scandal. Number two, it's tarnishing the name of Michigan football. And number three, I don't know how the brass at Michigan haven't already rolled out a suspension. I don't know. And literally, not exaggerating, every minute that goes by, it gets worse for them. And I would expect them to do something about this. I don't think that, if you care about the image of your university and your institution, how can you allow this guy to continue? Because again, it goes directly against, all ethics, all everything, everything that you would ever want in terms of ethics and morals and running your ship the right way. This goes directly against it.
It is stunning that just 5 minutes ago, the Detroit Free Press broke this story that the FBI is now involved at Michigan, on top of the new details today about Michigan football, where our sources are telling us that the Big Ten is seriously considering taking action against Michigan football, because at this point, we now know, because of Pete Thamel at ESPN, who reported that the NCAA enforcement team is on campus in Ann Arbor, which means they have just now begun their investigation. So if they were able to wrap that investigation up, let's say today, Michigan would have 90 days to respond to that investigation, which puts us into January, well past the college football playoff. And I think the Big Ten is trying to avoid the USC debauchery, if you will, which is to have your one of your top brands compete for a championship, win it, and have it rescinded, or whatever all of that would be. At this point in time, where we are with this Michigan cheating scandal, the Big Ten or Michigan is going to have to act if you are going to take Michigan out of postseason contention or Jim Harbaugh out of his position. But think now with the news that we know from the Detroit Free Press, think about all that the Michigan administration is dealing with. You've had the FBI on your campus. You've got NCAA enforcement on your campus. You have got an enormous amount of pressure to take action against Jim Harbaugh and the football program. And I think this Matt Weiss FBI revelation from the Detroit Free Press, I think only ramps that up and ratchets up the heat on Michigan administration to do something, to take action, even if you don't know truly the end result of this investigation. I don't see how you have not suspended Jim Harbaugh with pay pending the outcome of these investigations. The FBI is investigating your former offensive coordinator and has been working in tandem with the University of Michigan police, which means the administration in Ann Arbor knew that that was going on and has done nothing about it. And again, I say to you, how much responsibility does Jim Harbaugh have for the actions of his coaches and his staff? And I would tell you, Jim Harbaugh, as the head coach at Michigan, has 100% accountability for the actions of his coaches and staff. And you now have a former offensive coordinator terminated and under FBI investigation for actions he took while he was at Michigan in Michigan's offices using Michigan computers. We now know that an independent firm, yesterday we found out, are the ones who went to Michigan, the Big Ten, and the NCAA after they uncovered evidence of a sign-stealing operation, if you will, on Michigan computers and servers. We now have strong indication and evidence, and it is most people's opinion, there are leaks coming from inside the Michigan football department damaging Jim Harbaugh and the University of Michigan. Jake, I just don't know what else the University of Michigan needs to take action here.
Yeah, and I think your point about them knowing about this, FBI investigation spot on, because again, if you were aware of that, for however long you've been aware, let's call it 6 months, probably way longer than that, but let's just call it 6 months. If you've been aware even for 6 months, then this popped up. How long did you know that this stuff was going on before it came out publicly, before it started to be investigated? And that's where I'm just saying, if you're Michigan, it's starting to sort of come full circle that, hey, we're no longer, hey, you didn't know, Jim's innocent, this is just a hack job by the media. We're obviously way past that. This is, oh, you did know, your athletic director definitely knows, Jim for sure knows, and pretty much it was an open secret in the football program what was going on. Don't tell me you didn't know. And as far as the FBI side of it, I don't know how many people knew about that. That seems to be more of a secretive thing. That seems to be more of an isolated thing. I'm sure more information will come out. But
the issue, though, not to interrupt you, but the issue is, if the FBI is working with the University of Michigan police, the administration from top to bottom knows that the FBI is on campus investigating an employee, now a former employee.
Mm-hmm.
They knew about that. They had to have known about that. They terminated Matt Weiss, so they understand what the gravity of the evidence is. This is just another weight on the wrong side of the law for Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I think that, I just kind of feel like we're at a point where Michigan has to do something. It just feels like the mountain of evidence and the momentum in the direction of this story is pushing in every way to suspend this guy and figure it out. I mean, I that's just the start. I almost feel like, at some point you have to step up and issue a statement and say, hey, this is the university's stance on all of this, which is probably just going to be more lawyer talk for, we can't talk about anything, but we're suspending Jim with pay. Okay, cool. At least then we know you're doing somewhat of the right thing.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, this makes Michigan look really bad. I mean, if you're willing to do it in football, what other sports are you willing to do this in that don't get the attention football does?
And I again just say, how? How do you have a former offensive coordinator? Think about Jim Harbaugh's staff at this moment. You have his former offensive coordinator under FBI investigation, and they're calling it an intense priority investigation of computer crimes across multiple state lines with multiple victims.
I'm for real.
Let that sink in for a minute. Wally was the offensive coordinator at Michigan, number one. Number two, you now have what most people believe is one of the most serious cheating allegations against any college program in modern times. No, like we showed you, and I think we still have it. Bob Stoops yesterday, talked about everyone saying, oh, it happens all the time. No, it doesn't. I've never heard of that in all my years of football in every team I've ever been on. Sure, do we look across the field? If you can see it, that's your job. So Bob Stoops, in all of his years of experience, has never heard of a cheating operation like the one we have now found out about at Michigan, where you have another staffer suspended with pay pending the outcome of this investigation. Then you have Jim Harbaugh, who took a 3-game suspension, and the NCAA Committee on Infractions said it's not good enough. The 4 games you negotiated with the NCAA is not nearly good enough. We're going to handle your discipline after the season, to which your answer was, okay, we'll self-suspend for 3 games. What is it that Jim Harbaugh is doing? The question that you always ask.
Yeah.
What is it that Jim Harbaugh is doing to make you be so loyal to this guy?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you're winning natties with him. It's not like you're just the best of the best in college football. Are you number 2 overall right now? Sure you are. Sure you are. But that's a far cry from being the national champion of college football.
Yeah.
And the real problem here and the real indictment on this whole sign stealing, organized situation is that you lost to TCU in Georgia. You lost, dude. You lost. You got your ass kicked. So you were undefeated in the season because you could scout all those teams, and then the teams you couldn't scout in the college football playoff kicked your ass. And that's the problem. So the on-field results say you did it. The off-the-field mountain of evidence at this point says you did it. And yet Michigan wants to sit here and, I mean, I'm not trying to mischaracterize anything, but it does kind of feel like Michigan's kind of turning a blind eye to this a little bit. We haven't heard, the only thing we've ever heard is Michigan's aware of the investigation, and that's that. Okay, great, cool, awesome. Tell me something I don't know. I know you're aware of the investigation, but what's your stance on it? What's your opinion? What are you going to do about it? And I'm telling you, this is where I get into, okay, Michigan, you either you're condoning cheating or you're taking a stance against cheating. And if you were taking a stance against cheating, we'd have had a suspension already. And we probably had a few more things, but we don't have that yet. And
Wild.
I'm really surprised by it.
Absolutely wild. And every day we sit on this show and talk about this with Jim Harbaugh in Michigan. Something new happens, it feels
every day.
And you're like, well, there's no way that it could get worse than what we saw yesterday, where, an outside firm, presented this evidence and found, evidence of sign stealing on computers accessed by multiple coaches, evidence that suggests a scandal is bigger and broader than just one low-level assistant, that the outside firm presented the NCAA officials with photographs of people investigators believed to be Michigan scouts in action. The outside firm told the NCAA cell phone videos depicting coaches' staff from these games were uploaded to a computer drive maintained and accessed by Connor Stallions. And now the University of Michigan Police Department says that outside firm is not in any way related to the Weiss scandal with the FBI.
Mm-hmm.
I have a hard time believing that.
Yeah, and then you have this Jim Stapleton situation. Everyone's asking, hey, where did the leak come from? Oh, it turns out most people believe that the leak came from an individual named Jim Stapleton. Well, who the hell is Jim Stapleton? Jim Stapleton is a Michigan booster who happens to be on the NCAA Committee of Infractions, who also happens to not be a big Jim Harbaugh fan. So you're telling me that someone within your program, a booster, who has access to information, knows people, is at every home game. You know the deal.
It's wild.
Leaked all this. That's what I'm saying. The core issue here is people don't like Jim Harbaugh.
I think you're right. The more you've said that, and again, not to tell you, hey, look where I've been. When I covered Jim in San Francisco, he was not well liked in the locker room. His 49er players did not love Jim Harbaugh. Nobody at Stanford was sad to see him go. And I think, frankly, they could not wait to pack his stuff and ship him out when he left the 49ers.
Yeah.
And did they win after that? No, Jim Tomsula was a disaster. But that's not really even the point. Jim Harbaugh is not an easy guy to work for or work around. And Jim's kind of a red ass. And he does not seem, in my opinion, to have much care for the people around him. And these situations, you don't survive these kind of situations. Let's just be brutally honest about it. It almost doesn't matter what Michigan does at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot believe that the Big Ten is going to allow Michigan to compete for its championship this year. I have a real problem believing that. I have a real problem that the Big Ten is going to allow Michigan football to compete for a postseason spot. I cannot believe that.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be stunning to me now that the Detroit Free Press has made this information public. You cannot tell me that Jim Harbaugh is not getting suspended with pay. I would be surprised if we got through the show tomorrow and that didn't happen.
And hey, maybe that's why Michigan hasn't acted yet,
It's wild.
And maybe they will, but maybe that's why they haven't acted yet, because they're in conversation with Tony Petitti about how, what are the best steps forward? Because I do believe that definitely matters. So if your intent at Michigan is to suspend Jim Harbaugh,
yeah.
Okay, okay, if that's what we want to do, let's talk to Tony Petitti, our commissioner of the conference, because he's ultimately going to be right in the middle of this thing. And let's see what his opinion is on how we should move forward. And maybe through that process, that's why it's taking them some time. But I'm just telling you, every day that goes by that this guy is still in his office at Michigan is a bad day. You can't have this guy on campus right now. He is hazardous, man. He is radioactive right now. You have to get him off campus and get this investigation through, just concluded, because ultimately now you're in over your head. Now you're talking about the Federal Bureau of Investigation on your campus. You're not in control anymore. You're along for the ride.
Yeah, I don't know how you get away from this. And I think the only way you can get away from this is popping a buckshot and hoping for the best.
Dude, I agree, bro.
That's all I can say. Bucked Up Energy, the official energy provider of the Monty Show. Here it is, right here in my hand. You see me drink it every single day on the show. It's a buckshot. You want 6 free buckshots? Go get them in the description of the show below right here on YouTube. Or, hey, listen, if you're on the podcast or wherever you're at watching the show, hello to everybody on Instagram Live today. Just Google search The Monty Show, find us on YouTube, and you'll see the link for 6 free buckshots. Now, what's a buckshot? It's an energy shot, essentially, right? But why is it different and better? And everybody asks me this. Because the ingredients in a buckshot are elite. 200 milligrams of naturally sourced caffeine with a bunch of brain food, elite ingredients that make an elite product that does exactly what it says it's going to do. No spikes, no crashes. You just feel better, which is why here on the Monty Show, we trust Bucked Up and Buckshot to power us through the next 2.5 hours. Not cheers to you, but cheers to you, friends. There you go. I'm a blue raz guy. I love it. It's blueberry flavor. I'm also a watermelon fan, but get the free 6 buckshots in the description below. And listen, if you're somebody that uses pre-workout, if you're somebody that's a big lifter, you use whey protein isolate like I do. Every morning at the gym, I use racked BCA, branch chain amino acids, with 6-point creatine. I drink that while I'm working out, come home and have a protein shake, get my collagen peptides in there. Hell yeah. Bucked Up does it right. Use the promo code Monty to get 20% off at checkout. Less of us, more of you. Where are you guys at on this Michigan scandal? Let's see. First one in today is Shaner, who says the biggest garbage is Pac-4 saving the day in 2024.
Because it's garbage.
I think the Big Ten is a weak conference today. this cheating scandal is not going to help that. But I think when you look at 2024 and beyond, you add SC, UCLA, Oregon, and Washington, that's a better conference now.
No question.
Is it as strong as, and I think this is a legitimate argument to Shaner's point, is it as strong as the Big 12? It certainly is not in basketball. But in football, you have Michigan, Ohio State, the 4 new Pac-12 schools that are all powerhouses in football. I think it's awfully difficult to say that the Big Ten is not pushing the SEC for the second best conference in football. I think the SEC is still head and shoulders better. But right now, today, I think it's the Big 12 or maybe the Pac-12. Maybe that power shifts. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see what happens with Michigan because Michigan's going to get slapped in the bag for this. Michigan is going to lose postseason berths, I think. You're going to struggle to recruit for 2 years here, I have to believe, because this penalty is not going to be light.
No.
Michael Osepik. Okay, Michael, he gives us $5. Hello. No member love your show. I don't know what you mean by that, but thanks for the $5. Delaric gives us $2. Do they make pinstripe khakis? I don't know that they do. He's not going to jail. But does Jim Harbaugh ever coach another college football program?
No.
After this, I have a hard time believing he survives that. I think he could get a 5-year show cause. I don't think that's outlandish. I don't think that's over the top even a little bit. Hero 75, the fact that Harbaugh isn't gone makes me wonder if he has dirt on someone. Maybe some higher ups than Harbaugh signed off on the cheating to win.
Well,
I think all that's under the table now. It doesn't matter because he at a minimum is going to get whacked.
Yeah.
How does the athletic director survive? Because the athletic director's got all kinds of problems in his football department, right? You're not winning to the level you would like to, although I think Juwan's got the basketball program in good shape. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Football is what makes the world go round. I think we all know that. Cleveland rocks. Dude, what are you going to do for a quarterback? Did you guys see today that washcloth guy said he has no idea when he's going to play again? Deshaun Watson says he has no idea when he'll play again.
Hey, he said he's in the right place mentally and spiritually and physically, except for his shoulder.
You know, his shoulder's important to quarterbacks?
I guess.
Finally, get to watch you live. Does it still help your program to hit the like button when it's in rerun? Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Watson is wearing out his welcome in Cleveland. It may well be that Deshaun Watson's the worst contract in the history of the NFL when it's said and done.
Could be.
Because he's not helping the Cleveland Browns. Always hit the like button. We appreciate you guys. We are rapidly rocketing towards 50,000 subscribers here on the Monty Show. Where are we at right now? We're at 41. Let's see, 41,432. So hit the like button. That really helps the channel grow. If you are not a subscriber to the channel, please consider hitting subscribe. It allows you to comment. As usual, we are in subscriber-only mode today, so appreciate that. Everybody that hits the like button, you're the best. Let's continue to get your comments rolling here on Jim Harbaugh. And if you're just tuning in, I see we got a big bump of people just tuning in. The FBI is at Michigan. I said the FBI.
Bro, the FBI.
Oh, what are you talking about, man?
Is working with the University of Michigan police to investigate former Michigan offensive coordinators' computer crimes, which have multiple victims across state lines. Like, how is that possible? How is that possible? Will Jim Harbaugh survive this? Should Jim Harbaugh survive this? I think that's a bigger question. Mike Rodriguez, if proven liar Urban Meyer is still talked about here and there, as long as a booster has money, Jim will be asked to coach in college. Jim will want to stay in the NFL or TV. How long until he gets a job?
Here's my thing for Jim. At what point do you just say, yeah, the racket's not worth it? Yeah, I love coaching football and it's my life's work. But damn, the racket's not worth it, man.
I think you're close.
I mean, when do you take the cushy TV job? And this is the other problem for Jim. Jim is not Tom Brady.
No.
Jim is not some dynamic, gotta have him on your set guy. Jim is khaki, thick-ass, round glasses guy.
No, is Jim Harbaugh the guy that you want analyzing the Chicago Bears?
The Bears.
The Bears and Packers.
Yeah. Hey, Jim, can you break down why good old Notre Dame had 10 guys on the line for us? Yeah, that's rich.
And
Michigan head coach breaking that down.
But you understand the issue here with Jim Harbaugh? Jim Harbaugh is a Michigan man. He played at Michigan. Like, this was his dream job. I'm going home to cause scandal and not win anything. Like, that's what we're talking about here. I mean, that is absolutely what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
And it's horrendous for Michigan. There's no spinning it. It's absolutely horrendous. Welcome the Man Rock. The Man Rock is a member of our on YouTube now. The Man Rock. The Man, Rock. So are you the Rock?
It could be.
It could be.
It could be, dude.
Stay hard.
It could be. Eric Wasikowski.
Nice name, dude.
Urban Meyer visits Michigan State for a second time should be the bigger story. Oh, did he really? Did he really? Okay. I like it.
Yeah, that'd be fitting. Let's hire. Oh, Mel Tucker got in trouble? Yeah, let's hire Urban Meyer. That seems good.
Did he really? I did not hear that. If that's true, I did not hear that. I cannot believe that. I can't believe it. Cisbro, that buckshot transition was fantastic. Hey, man, it's what we do. You know, Phil Venzer, Michigan football program needs an enemy. Bro, I'm from what I understand, they have plenty of enemies and they're in their own house. I mean, that might be the more remarkable part of this, because I do believe, in my opinion, I think the Big Ten is going to take Jim Harbaugh off the field.
Have to.
And I think they are not going to allow Michigan football to participate in the postseason. I don't see any other logical end to this thing.
You know,
I think that's as simple as it is.
Yeah.
But can you imagine a place where they're Big Ten champions, where they are in the college football playoff?
No,
I can't see it now.
I don't care who you are. You're not going to force your TV partners to put a freaking fraud on TV.
Yeah.
You're not forcing them to do that.
Can't believe it. Cannot believe it. Let's see. Boyd Lake, guys. It's all ball bearings these days.
hey guys.
Okay, that's fine. Tanner Plummer just saw the Instagram video. Cool to see what the rest of the studio looks like. We are live on Instagram.
Yeah, we're live on the gram and stuff, you know? Yeah, it's cool.
There's it's just quite literally, it's just a room with a door and a clock and stuff. But
that's
thanks for
fucking
watching.
interesting, man.
Randall Appleton says Monty is weak. Randall's a guy who says our show sucks. Randall complains that you say the word "yeah" too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Sick, dude.
Randall, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a subscriber. Thanks for commenting on the show. Thanks for commenting on our videos.
Yes.
You really helped the channel grow, man. Thank you so much.
Couldn't do it without you, brother.
I really appreciate it. Stupefied says, I'm scared for Jim. Are you really?
Why are
you really
scared for him? Like,
yeah, I would not be scared for him in any way, shape, or form.
And this is what I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for Michigan fan to finally come out of their basement about why they support Jim. It's funny how brash and how in your face Michigan fan was. And now all of a sudden, I don't see Michigan fan anywhere. All of a sudden, Michigan fans nowhere in the comments on our channel. I don't see you guys live on the show. What happened?
There's no more way to spin this. I mean, the FBI is investigating your former offensive coordinator for computer crimes.
Boom. Out of here.
The Federal Bureau of Investigations.
Any bureau that starts with federal is
in
not
trouble.
Good news for you.
You're in trouble. There's no way to spin this anymore at all. AAR, Michigan Wolverine Manifesto, required reading. Jeez. And that's the worst part. Okay, so let me get this right. You have Superman Jim Harbaugh going back to his alma mater to save the football program.
Right.
You have this football analyst who has family that is at Michigan. His dream is to be the head coach at Michigan, to the point where he writes a manifesto, as he called it, a plan of action to not only become the head coach at Michigan, but to bring Michigan to the top of the college football world.
My word.
And part of it is he is as detailed as, I want kids who test low on the ACT and the SAT, but have high grade point averages, because it shows that they're outworking their talent.
Y'all feel me?
Because their test scores are low, but they're outworking those low test scores, getting good grades. I want them on the field. He says that he analyzed all the football players at Navy and scoped their test scores versus their GPAs, and the best players had lower test scores and higher GPAs. And those are the players he wants on his team. Like, this cat was not screwing around.
Yeah, this is hardly his problem now. Is he the one that was executing on the, sign stealing stuff? Yes. This is much bigger than Buddy now. This is AD, this is, I hesitate to accuse the higher than AD level people of knowing, but something tells me that they possibly knew. This is
the athletic director had to know.
Oh, 100%. There's no question about it. The athletic director knew. No question.
Football revenue is what powers your athletic department.
Dude, you had a budget for travel to send people out to other stadiums. Don't tell me your athletic director knew nothing about this.
Delaric says, I take my buckshot at 1 to get through the rest of my day. My guy, let's go. Let's go. Gumby fresh out. I get a free McMuffin this morning. Well, it's a good day. You love yourself a good egg McMuffin.
Oh, yeah, dude. There's nothing. Dude, there's nothing like an OG egg McMuffin when it's cold outside.
Nothing. Boyd Lake, the SEO king of America. You got to admit, once there's blood in the water, it's going to be a rough ride for whomever is getting gnawed at, bro.
100%.
And I don't know why we're like that as a society, but we love it.
We're going to deny it as hard as we can until it's undeniable. Oh, Jimmy had no idea.
He stole from me. And then like 50 other people. Yeah, he stole from me too.
Like
we are a society that piles on.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. No doubt. Jeff Woodward says, way to start the day, Gumby. Seriously. Nothing like free. Free is for me. Jaws theme played in the background whenever Jim is walking around. Dude. Big Ten Syndicate, Big Blue. Yeah. But if it is true about this, and Booster strong, but if it is true that this supporter of Michigan football is the one leaking all this information, man, you're getting piped from inside your own program. I mean, this is Goodfellas. This is the mob, dude. Like this is this is not good.
And
this
again,
is not good at all.
What am I going to say? Maybe the booster wouldn't be piping you if you were a better person and more people liked you and you knew how to save face in front of the people who funded your program. But instead, you're the guy that's a red ass at the, meetings you have to go to that you hate going to. You're the guy that builds that reputation of, you walk in and the energy in the room gets all weird. But
he also is the classic victim.
Yeah.
He also is the guy that's like, everybody's out to get me. I did nothing wrong.
Jim, do you feel like your program has a target on its back, both because of the success on the field and also some things off the field?
Yeah, I think success, does that. There's people that don't like to see people be successful, and there's a target. Yeah, everybody's pointed that out from the beginning of the season. But our guys are, they're just very focused, and just go about their business, wake up, take care of business today, and then and we still got get the guys back to Ann Arbor and then wake up tomorrow and take care of business again.
Fucking ass.
You're not a victim, sir.
Get the hell out of here. We're a victim, man.
You remember A Few Good Men? Yeah. When Colonel Jessup's like, I'm going back to my base. Jim's like, I'm going back to Ann Arbor. I'm going back to the safe harbor of the computers in the football office. No, well, actually, you're not. The FBI.
I'm not done with my examination.
Yeah, sit down. The FBI took your computers, sir. Jim Harbaugh's like, you need me on that goal line. You want me on the 25, right? Like but he'll never, and I get it. It's on brand for football coaches. You're never going to admit there's a problem. You're never going to admit it. Matt Ritson for $5. There's another fine mess you've got me into, Mr. Jim Harbaugh. Seriously. Ryan Willie, what's up, Ryan, for $10. Can't stand most of the national media excusing Michigan by saying everybody does it. The Big Ten wouldn't kill the ATM machine. I want Michigan to receive a 2-year bowl ban. But the issue is, here's the issue. The issue is that not everybody does what Jim Harbaugh did.
Yeah.
And what Michigan football did. The truth is, as Bob Stoops has said, as Nick Saban says, as all of these coaches have said, if you can look across the field and you can say, oh, wait, that's a pass. They're coming with a pass. Chase Winovich. They're coming with a pass. Be ready. Okay, that's different. But when you send football department interns, which is what is alleged, when you carve out a $15,000 budget, which is what is being reported that Michigan did, $15,000 budget to go travel around to future employees, to go to the SEC championship game, you send football interns out to do that. No, nobody else is doing that.
No.
And again, I want to make this really clear because I feel like a lot of people don't know this. It is not illegal to steal signs. It's not. Here's what's illegal. To travel to other stadiums to scout, that's illegal. To travel to other stadiums for the purpose of stealing signs, that's illegal. To videotape sidelines directly, that's illegal. To steal signs with electronic recording equipment, that's illegal.
Because it's illegal.
Jim Harbaugh is alleged to have done all of that.
Yeah.
Michigan football is alleged to have done all of that.
And on top of that, the FBI is in your program now. So what are we talking about?
And, oh, by the way, it's also illegal to commit computer crimes against multiple victims across state lines, allegedly, which is what the FBI is allegedly investigating at Michigan. This is wild, bros. There's no way, Ryan Willie, there's no way to excuse it away.
Oh,
this is not, everybody is not doing what Michigan football did. Please, let's stop saying that.
And can we please take the moment to say, yeah, we should put mics in the helmets of quarterbacks, please.
Isn't that the minimum of what should happen here?
Help us.
That is the minimum of what should happen here. Let's not even pull punches. Coming up in 20 minutes, Texas Tech versus BYU. Did Texas Tech, how does BYU find itself in these situations? Did Texas Tech spit in the face of BYU football players? Joey McGuire says no, next at 10 o'clock. Right? This is what is going on this year in college
lie detector
football.
Test determined that was a lie.
Because I think they did. I'll tell you that now. And we'll get into it in hour number 2. But I think they did. I think they did. Ram Spencer, do you actually know the FBI investigation has anything to do with sign stealing? Oh, no. Au contraire, friends.
No, we're not saying it has anything to do with sign stealing,
no.
sir.
In fact, we're telling you that the University of Michigan Police Department spokespeople today said that the FBI investigation and the investigation into Matt Weiss, I believe they said, is completely and totally unrelated to the sign stealing investigation.
Dude.
But if you put 7 and 65 together, you get 38. When you got to carry the 6. Anyway, the point is
that was them doing the budget.
Oh, when you put A plus B equals.
Yeah.
How do you think they got into those computers? Well, I'm going to guess they were investigating, I don't know, computer crimes. Because let's go back to what we found out yesterday.
Yeah.
Right? What did we tell you yesterday on the show? That among the pieces of evidence that an independent firm who was auditing Michigan found was a detailed schedule of Michigan planned sign stealing travel for the rest of the season, listing opponent schedules, Michigan scouts would attend those games, and how much money was budgeted for travel.
Dude.
The sign-stealing investigation threatening to disrupt Michigan's football season began after an outside investigative firm approached the NCAA with documents and videos. Put your seatbelts on and your hands at 10 and 2, kids. They said they obtained it from computer drives maintained and accessed by multiple Michigan coaches, according to two people familiar with the matter. So no, you can say that the two crimes are not related. I'm having a hard time believing that this is all just fruit of the computer crimes tree.
Right.
Why is an outside firm investigating Michigan computers? And are you really going to tell me it's just a coinkydink that your former offensive coordinator is being investigated by the FBI for computer crimes across multiple victims and state lines? Well, let's see. I wonder, hey, look at this file over here. This looks pretty suspicious, Jimmy. Better open that up. What do you mean? Sign-stealing travel budget.
Facial recognition.
Who the fuck is Matt? What's this guy's name?
Matt Lysovich.
That's who? Connor who? Wait, we're looking at Matt Weiss. Who's Connor? Connor Stallone? Stallion?
Yeah, nice horse.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look at these videos. Like, that's how this happened.
You know,
They're looking for computer crimes with Matt Weiss, and they're like, what's this drive that says nothing to see here? Skip. That's what this looked like.
Vexes me.
And actually, I don't even think that they labeled it nothing to see here. They probably said signs we stole at Ohio State, signs we stole at Penn State, right? Like this seems so stupid that you did it this way. Come on, man. You can't tell me these things are. Do you really believe these things are not related?
No.
Hello. I'm having trouble with that. Cleveland Rocks, in your opinion, will Harbaugh coach against Ohio State? I do not believe he will.
No.
I do not believe he will. Elks 70, Michigan Manifesto, missing page number 601, quote unquote, Scout TCU. What I love is it's probably page 601 and it just says TCU at the top and the page is blank, right? You're fired. What are you doing? We hire the best people.
Jackass.
Idiot.
Michael I'm killing your name. Dude.
Michael Ozempic.
Yeah. What's up? He's skinny fat.
Yeah.
Time to cut.
Yeah.
Michael Osepek. Ocean Peck.
Like I said.
Michael. How about Mike? Hey,
Michael.
Michael. New member. Love your show. Oh, appreciate that, man. Thank you very much.